If you think being harmless is virtuous, think again. You've been told to be soft, to be agreeable, to never rock the boat. You were fed the lie that being nice is the path to success, that you should avoid conflict, suppress your instincts, and never be a threat. But what has that gotten you? Where did being soft get you in your career, in your relationships, in life? The truth is simple. The world does not reward the weak. It eats them alive. Being harmless isn't virtuous. It's pathetic. It's the reason you get overlooked, ignored, disrespected, and walked over. If you have no power, no strength, no ability to stand your ground, you are at the mercy of those who do. And trust me, they won't be kind. A lion that refuses to hunt doesn't become enlightened. It becomes dead. A person who refuses to build strength, discipline, and controlled aggression doesn't become better. They become useless. And that's exactly what they want you to be. Weak, harmless. A doormat for the people who don't hesitate to take what they want. But today, that ends. Today, we talk about what it really means to become a monster. Not a reckless, destructive force, but a disciplined, controlled, powerful force that nobody can push around. This is the difference between being someone who gets devoured and someone who dictates their destiny. Let's start with the biggest myth society has forced on you. The idea that passivity equals morality. They tell you, be nice, be kind, be agreeable. But they never tell you what happens when nice meets ruthless. What happens when kind meets calculated. What happens when soft meets sharp. The answer? Soft gets crushed. If you've ever felt like you're always on the losing side, if you've ever been ignored, taken advantage of, walked over, it's because you were taught to play by rules that were designed to keep you weak. Strong people don't play by those rules. They create their own. So why are you still following a script written for your failure? Today, we tear that script apart and rewrite it in your favor. Number 1. The hero's paradox, strength in restraint. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Think about that for a second. Let it sink in. Imagine standing in a battlefield, holding nothing but a rake. Now imagine standing in a peaceful garden, fully armed and trained, knowing you can handle anything if necessary. Who do you think sleeps better at night? The weak man hopes nothing bad happens. The strong man prepares for everything. Most people live their lives as the gardener in a war, unprepared, untrained, defenseless. They avoid conflict at all costs, thinking ignorance is safety. And when life hits them, when they get betrayed, when they get rejected, when they lose their job, when they watch someone else take what should have been theirs, they are powerless. This is the harsh reality most refuse to accept. The world is a war. It might not look like it on the surface. There are no swords or shields, no battle cries, no blood-soaked battlefields. But make no mistake, the war is real. It's a war of power, a war of influence, a war for resources, for success, for dominance, for control. And if you step into this war unarmed, untrained, and clueless, you will get destroyed. Every time you hesitate, someone else moves forward. Every time you doubt yourself, someone else takes action. Every time you stay silent, someone else controls the conversation. And this isn't just about business or competition. It's about life itself. Think about modern relationships today. People are confused, frustrated, lost. Why? Because they weren't trained for reality. Most people have been fed the lie that being agreeable, passive, and overly nice will earn them respect, love, and admiration. But look around. Does it? Who gets ignored in relationships? Who gets walked over in friendships? Who gets overlooked for promotions at work? It's always the person who refuses to stand their ground. In modern relationships, People are told to be nice, to be understanding, to be accommodating. But what happens? They bend over backwards, they give too much, they ignore their own standards, and they get discarded. Because life is built on status, power, and strength, and those who lack it pay the price. This is why strength is not optional. If you want to be respected, if you want to be taken seriously, if you want to be in control of your life, you need to become dangerous, but controlled. This does not mean violence. This does not mean aggression. This does not mean domination for no reason. It means developing yourself into someone who is capable of handling anything. The way you do that? Master every aspect of your life. First, train your body. If you are physically weak, you are mentally weak. A person who cannot push through physical hardship will crumble under pressure in real life. Go to the gym every single day, not because you feel like it, not because you want to be fit, but because it's a statement of discipline. Discipline is power. The moment you control your body, you prove to yourself that you can control your life. Second, master your mind. If you let emotions control you, you are not strong. You are a puppet. Develop self-control. Train yourself to be calm under stress. Learn to control your emotions so nobody else can manipulate them. The next time something doesn't go your way, don't react emotionally. Pause, think, choose your response. That alone puts you ahead of 90% of people who act before they think. Third, become valuable. If you are replaceable, you are worthless. This applies in relationships, in business, in life. Develop skills. Make yourself irreplaceable. If you lost your job today, could you find another one easily? If your relationship ended today, would you have the strength to move forward? If the economy collapsed, could you survive? If the answer is no, you are vulnerable. And the only way to fix that is to start building your value today. Write down 3 skills you need to master. Write down 3 areas of weakness you need to eliminate. Every single day, work on them. The moment you stop improving is the moment you start dying. Fourth, speak your mind. If you don't stand for something, you stand for nothing. And if you stand for nothing, you will be pushed around by everything. Learn to say no. Learn to set boundaries. Learn to demand what you deserve. Do not let fear of rejection, criticism, or confrontation silence you. Weak people stay quiet. Strong people make their presence known. Fifth, understand psychology. If you don't understand people, you will always be controlled by them. Learn how people think, how they react, how they manipulate. Learn how emotions drive decisions. Learn how persuasion works. Once you understand human nature, nobody will be able to lie to you, trick you, or manipulate you ever again. And the final step, become relentless. Most people start something and quit when it gets hard. That's why most people never achieve anything. You need to be different. You need to push when everyone else stops. You need to outwork, outlast, and outsmart every single person around you. If you have a goal, do whatever it takes to reach it. If you face obstacles, run through them. If people doubt you, prove them wrong, but most importantly, prove yourself right. Weak people complain. Strong people adjust and keep moving. This is how monsters are built. Because being harmless is not a virtue. A person who is harmless is not peaceful. A person who is harmless is not disciplined. A person who is harmless is not kind. A person who is harmless is powerless. And powerlessness is a choice. So choose differently. Choose to be strong. Choose to be capable. Choose to be someone that commands respect, not begs for it. Because in the end, the warrior in the garden sleeps peacefully. But the gardener in a war, he doesn't sleep at all. Number 2, The weak get devoured. Weakness is a death sentence, not just in the wild, not just in ancient history. Right now, today, in every single aspect of life. People think weakness is just about physical power. It's not. It's about mental weakness, emotional weakness, social weakness, financial weakness. The weak get devoured because they are easy targets. And the world does not protect easy targets. It uses them, it exploits them, it discards them. Look at what happens to the weak in business. They hesitate, they lack confidence, they wait for permission instead of taking control. And what happens? Someone more ruthless, more aggressive, more decisive takes the opportunity. Look at what happens to the weak in relationships. They ignore red flags. They cling to people who don't respect them. They give everything and demand nothing. And what happens? They get left behind, replaced, abandoned. Look at what happens to the weak in society. They expect fairness, equality, kindness. And what happens? Reality crushes them. Because life does not care about your feelings. It cares about your value. And if you bring nothing to the table, you don't get to eat. If you are weak, you will always be at the mercy of someone stronger. That's the brutal truth. But there is a way out. If you are tired of being overlooked, ignored, taken for granted, and left behind, you need to become indispensable. You need to become someone the world cannot afford to ignore. First, increase your earning power. Money isn't just paper. It's leverage. It's freedom. It's control. If you are broke, you are a prisoner. You depend on your job, your boss, your paycheck. You have no choices. But the moment you start building financial strength, everything changes. Start today. Learn a high-income skill. Sales, marketing, coding, copywriting, investing. Pick one. Stop wasting money on things that don't make you stronger. Set a financial goal and work towards it relentlessly. The stronger you are financially, the less control anyone else has over you. Second, master your time. Weak people waste time. They scroll, they procrastinate, they wait. And while they wait, the strong are building, working, winning. If you waste hours a day on nonsense, you are losing years of your life. Take control. Set a schedule and stick to it. Cut distractions. Delete what doesn't serve you. Every morning, write down 3 things you must accomplish that day. Do them no matter what. The more control you have over your time, the more control you have over your future. Third, become socially unshakable. Weak people crave validation. They need approval, and that's why they are so easily controlled. If someone can make you feel guilty, insecure, or desperate for approval, they own you. But a person who needs nothing from anyone, a person who is self-sufficient, confident, and in control of their emotions, that person is untouchable. Train yourself to be unshakable. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't deserve an explanation. Stop apologizing for having standards. Learn to walk away the second someone disrespects you. The moment people realize you cannot be manipulated, guilt-tripped, or emotionally blackmailed, you become a force to be reckoned with. Fourth, build an unbreakable will. Weak people give up. They quit when it gets hard. And that's why they never achieve anything. Look at anyone who has ever built something great, whether it's in business, in sports, in life. Every single one of them had a moment where they could have quit. But they didn't. And that's the difference between the strong and the weak. Most people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunities, but because they lack the will to keep going. The next time you feel like giving up, push harder. The next time you doubt yourself, double down. The next time things don't go your way, adjust and keep moving. You either adapt and overcome, or you get left behind. Fifth, Embrace discomfort. Weak people avoid pain. They avoid difficulty. They avoid stress. And because of that, they never grow. Discomfort is the birthplace of power. The more pain you can handle, the stronger you become. Every single time you step outside your comfort zone, you level up. Make discomfort your new normal. Push yourself harder in the gym. Challenge yourself in conversations. Learn something new every day, even when it's frustrating. Growth comes from resistance. And if you refuse to face resistance, you will stay weak forever. Lastly, develop a reputation for strength. People treat you based on what they believe about you. If you have a reputation for being weak, soft, or spineless, people will walk over you. But if you have a reputation for being strong, decisive, disciplined, and unshakable, people will respect you before you even open your mouth. Your reputation is your greatest weapon. Build it wisely. Start today. Carry yourself with confidence. Speak with conviction. Never let disrespect slide. The moment you command respect, the world treats you differently. Weak people wait for things to get better. Strong people make things better. Weak people hope someone saves them. Strong people save themselves. Weak people expect fairness. Strong people create their own opportunities. The world doesn't protect the weak. It devours them. Number 3, the no excuses life. Weak people make excuses for everything. Why they aren't in shape, why they aren't making money, why they keep getting disrespected, why life isn't fair. And what does making excuses get them? Nothing. No one cares about your excuses. No one feels sorry for you. No one is coming to save you. If you don't take responsibility for your life, someone else will, and they will use you for their benefit. Excuses are how people lie to themselves so they can feel better about staying the same. Excuses are the reason most people never achieve anything. Look at the people who are truly winning in life. Look at the people who have control, power, success, freedom. Do you think they got there by making excuses? Number. They got there by taking action. And that's the only difference between those who win and those who lose. So if you want to be strong, if you want to be respected, if you want to build a life of power, freedom, and influence, you need to eliminate excuses completely. First, stop blaming your circumstances. If you are broke, it's not the economy. If you are out of shape, it's not genetics. If you are getting ignored, disrespected, overlooked, it's not bad luck, it's you. And the second you admit that, you take back control. Because if it's your fault, then it's also your power to fix it. Weak people love to say, I can't control what happens to me. But strong people say, I control my response, my actions, my discipline, my mindset. You don't control everything, but you control enough to change your situation completely. Second, destroy the victim mentality. Weak people love to play the victim. They love to talk about how unfair life is, how other people have it easier, how the system is rigged. And maybe it is. Maybe life is unfair. Maybe other people did have an easier start. Maybe the system is designed to keep you down. So what? Are you going to cry about it, or are you going to rise above it? The people who actually win in life aren't the ones with the best circumstances. They are the ones who refuse to stay down. Every second you spend feeling sorry for yourself is a second you could be using to improve yourself. Third, get rid of lazy habits. Excuses and laziness go hand in hand. Lazy people say they don't have time, but they waste hours on social media. Lazy people say they want to be in shape, but they eat garbage and avoid the gym. Lazy people say they want to be rich, but they refuse to develop valuable skills. You know exactly what's holding you back. So stop negotiating with yourself and take action. From now on, If you say you will do something, do it. If you know something is bad for you, cut it off. If you have a goal, pursue it aggressively. Your habits determine your future, and every time you choose laziness, you choose weakness. Fourth, learn to work through discomfort. Weak people quit when it gets hard. Strong people push through the pain. Everything great in life requires suffering. Strength requires suffering. Success requires suffering. Mastery requires suffering. If you want to be powerful, you have to train yourself to be comfortable in discomfort. Push your body past exhaustion in the gym. Push your mind past frustration when learning a new skill. Push your emotions past rejection, failure, setbacks. The ability to suffer without breaking is what separates winners from losers. Fifth, become relentless. Weak people quit after one rejection. They stop after one failure. That's why they never win. The strongest people in history all had one thing in common. They refused to stop. Every time they got knocked down, they stood back up. If you don't have this mindset, you will never achieve anything. You need to decide today that quitting is no longer an option. From now on, when you face rejection, try again. When you hit a setback, find a way around it. When it feels impossible, keep going anyway. Because the moment you become relentless, you become unstoppable. Lastly, develop self-respect. Excuses are a sign of low self-respect. When you make excuses, you are telling yourself, I am not capable. When you let yourself slack off, you are telling yourself, I don't deserve success. When you stay in a weak mindset, you are telling yourself, I am okay with being average. But you are not average. You are capable of more, and you know it. So start acting like it. From this moment on, stop accepting weakness from yourself. Stop tolerating laziness. Stop making excuses. And watch how your life transforms. Because excuses get you nowhere. But action makes you unstoppable. Number 4, the power of fear. If people don't fear losing you, they don't respect you. If people don't fear the consequences of disrespecting you, they will walk all over you. If people don't fear your reaction, they will manipulate, betray, and use you. Fear is not about being cruel, violent, or aggressive. It's about commanding respect without saying a word. It's about having such a presence, such an aura, such an undeniable level of strength that people think twice before they cross you. Weak people want to be liked. Strong people demand respect. And respect is built on one thing, fear of consequence. This is why people test boundaries. This is why people push limits. This is why people take advantage of others, because they feel there is no risk. But when people know you are not to be played with, everything changes. And if you think fear is a bad thing, look at the world around you. Who gets taken advantage of? The weak, the passive, the overly trusting. Who gets walked all over in relationships? The one who doesn't set boundaries. Who gets ignored in business? The one who never asserts themselves. And who gets respect? The one who holds power. The one who doesn't tolerate nonsense. The one who people don't want to disappoint or cross. This doesn't mean being rude. This doesn't mean being arrogant. It means having a presence so strong, so certain, so undeniable that people know, without being told, that you are not to be played with. That kind of power is not given. It is built. It starts with self-respect. People will treat you exactly how you allow them to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect, it will continue. If you let people take advantage of you, it will happen again. If you let people waste your time, they will keep doing it. And every time you let something slide, you teach people that your boundaries don't matter. Self-respect means you are willing to lose people rather than lose your standards. The moment you decide that you will never again tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or inconsistency, people will start treating you differently. Weak people chase validation. Strong people walk away from anything that insults their self-respect. This is why people fear losing the strong, because they know the strong don't beg, don't plead, and don't tolerate nonsense. If someone thinks they can disrespect you and still have access to you, they have no reason to fear losing you. If you have no self-respect, you have no leverage. If people see that you have options, self-worth, and the ability to walk away, suddenly they value your presence. This applies in relationships, business, friendships, everything. The moment people see that you are a person who is willing to cut off anything that doesn't meet your standards, they will start treating you with the respect you should have been getting all along. This is the foundation of power and influence. But self-respect is only the beginning. You must also master controlled intensity. The strongest people are not the loudest, the most aggressive, or the most reactive. The strongest people are the ones who are calm, calculating, and utterly in control of themselves. When you are unpredictable, you are dangerous. When people never know how you will respond, they think twice before testing you. But if people know you will always fold, always back down, always seek approval, always hesitate, then you become easy to manipulate. Mastering controlled intensity means knowing exactly when to show your strength and when to remain silent. Weak people show all their emotions all the time. They react, they break down, they over-explain. Strong people observe, think, and only act when necessary. There is nothing more powerful than a person who knows how to remain calm under pressure. The second someone can make you lose control of yourself, they own you. This is why the ability to remain emotionally untouchable is one of the greatest forms of power you can have. The moment you show that you are calm under stress, rational under attack, and unmoved by attempts to provoke you, people will start treating you like a leader. This is what true strength looks like. It's not about trying to dominate everyone. It's not about yelling, being rude, or forcing people to listen to you. It's about carrying yourself in a way that makes people listen without you even having to ask. It's about being so confident in yourself that other people follow your lead. It's about moving with certainty, speaking with conviction, and radiating the kind of presence that people don't forget. You must also master strategic silence. Weak people talk too much. They try to explain themselves to people who don't care. They reveal too much too soon. Strong people say only what needs to be said. When you talk less, your words have more impact. When you are silent, people wonder what you're thinking. When you don't explain yourself, people respect you more. Silence is a weapon. Use it. And finally, understand the psychology of power. People don't respect what they don't fear losing. This is why desperate, needy behavior pushes people away. This is why overly nice, overly agreeable, overly available people get treated like an afterthought. The moment you show that you do not need approval, attention, or validation from anyone, people want to be in your presence. Power is built on control over yourself and control over your value. Weak people beg for recognition. Strong people become so valuable that recognition is automatic. Weak people try to force people to like them. Strong people let their presence speak for itself. Weak people wait for permission to be respected. Strong people demand respect with how they carry themselves. So from this moment forward, you must embody fearless strength. Never allow disrespect to go unchecked. Never chase, beg, or plead for someone's attention. Never allow someone to think they can treat you however they want and still have access to you. Never reveal your every thought, feeling, or emotion to those who haven't earned it. Move with power. speak with purpose, operate with absolute control. Because fear is not about being intimidating, cruel, or arrogant. Fear is about commanding the kind of respect that makes people think twice before crossing you. Fear is about carrying yourself in a way that makes people feel your presence before you even open your mouth. Fear is about becoming so strong, mentally, physically, and emotionally, that people know without a doubt that you are not to be played with. And when you reach that level, everything changes, because people don't mess with what they fear, and the world does not step on those who refuse to be stepped on. Number 5. Forged in fire. Strength is not given. It is not inherited. It is not something you stumble upon. Strength is forged through resistance, through suffering, through fire. The people who are truly powerful today, the ones who command respect, dominate their industries, lead their families, and shape the world, did not get there because life was easy. They got there because they embraced the struggle instead of running from it. Weak people avoid pain. They want comfort. They look for the easy way out. They complain when things get hard. Strong people do the opposite. They seek out hardship. They push through pain. They choose struggle because they know that struggle creates power. Life will test you. It will break you down. It will throw failures, betrayals, heartbreaks, financial struggles, mental battles, and physical pain at you. And when it does, you have two choices. You can let it destroy you, or you can use it to become unbreakable. Most people fold under pressure. Most people get knocked down and stay there. Most people waste years complaining about how life isn't fair instead of taking control. But those who embrace the fire, those who use suffering as fuel, they rise higher than anyone else. Pain is inevitable. The suffering that comes from pain is a choice. You cannot escape hardship, but you can decide what to do with it. Every rejection is a lesson. Every failure is a test. Every obstacle is an opportunity to sharpen yourself. Most people let these things break them, but the ones who become truly strong let them shape them. Every struggle you've ever been through was a fire trying to burn you down. But you are metal. You don't burn, you harden. Most people fear discomfort. They avoid situations that challenge them, and that's why they stay weak. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The second you stop facing resistance, you stop improving. The gym is the perfect example. If you never lift heavier weights, your muscles never grow. If you never push past exhaustion, your endurance never improves. Life works the same way. If you never push yourself past your limits, you stay at the same level forever. So start seeking out resistance. Wake up earlier than your body wants to. Push yourself harder in the gym than you think you can. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations that force you to grow. Take on challenges that scare you. Force yourself to keep going when your mind is screaming at you to quit. Because every time you do this, you build mental and physical armor that no one can break. The next step is to develop extreme discipline. Weak people live by their emotions. They do things when they feel like it. They chase motivation. They only take action when it's convenient, and that's why they never succeed. Strong people operate on discipline, not feelings. They show up every day, whether they feel like it or not. They stick to their plans, whether they're tired or not. They push through resistance, whether they're in the mood or not. Discipline is what separates the average from the elite. If you want to build something great, whether it's your body, your wealth, your relationships, or your reputation, you need to become a machine of discipline. No excuses, no hesitation, just action. Another crucial piece. Developing absolute focus. Weak people get distracted easily. They waste hours scrolling, jumping from one thing to another, never finishing what they start. Strong people lock in on their goals like predators. They don't let distractions pull them off course. They don't waste energy on nonsense. They eliminate anything that isn't pushing them forward. This is the level of focus you need to dominate your life. You need to wake up every day knowing exactly what you need to accomplish and refusing to stop until it's done. If something isn't adding to your growth, cut it off. Entertainment that doesn't teach you anything? Gone. People who don't support your mission? Gone. Habits that slow you down? Gone. Every time you remove a distraction, you gain more power over your future. And once you have discipline and focus, the next step is to build a ruthless work ethic. Most people are lazy. They think working a little bit is enough. They think they can put in minimal effort and get massive rewards. But life doesn't work like that. If you want to win, you have to outwork, outlast, and outperform everyone around you. Every successful person you see today put in years of work before they saw results. They weren't smarter. They weren't luckier. They weren't born different. They simply outworked everyone else. If you want to build wealth, you need to be obsessed with creating value. If you want to build a powerful body, you need to be obsessed with training and nutrition. If you want to master a skill, you need to be obsessed with practice and learning. Half-hearted effort leads to half-hearted results. Be willing to put in years of work with no guarantee of reward. Be willing to keep going even when no one is clapping for you. Be willing to push yourself further than anyone thinks is possible, because that is what separates the best from the rest. And finally, become a leader. Weak people wait for others to tell them what to do. They follow the crowd. They seek approval. Strong people make their own path. A leader is someone who does what needs to be done, regardless of what anyone else is doing. A leader is someone who takes responsibility for their life and never looks for someone to blame. A leader is someone who stands firm in their beliefs, no matter how much pressure they face. And most importantly, a leader is someone who leads by example. If you want people to respect you, be someone worth respecting. If you want people to follow you, be someone worth following. If you want people to take you seriously, take yourself seriously first. Strength is not just about being physically powerful. It's about being mentally unshakable, emotionally controlled, and relentlessly disciplined. It's about being the kind of person that others look up to, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. This is what it means to be forged in fire, to willingly walk into difficulty and come out stronger, to embrace suffering as part of the process, to refuse to break, no matter what life throws at you. And when you do this, you will realize something powerful. Nothing and no one can control you anymore. Not fear, not failure, not rejection, because you have built yourself into someone who cannot be broken. And that is when you become truly unstoppable. The world doesn't respect the weak. It doesn't wait for the passive. It doesn't hand power to those who refuse to take it. It bows to the strong. You have two choices. Stay soft, stay powerless, stay at the mercy of others, or become the kind of person no one dares to test. A warrior is not someone who seeks destruction. A warrior is someone who could destroy, but chooses not to. Because power without control is chaos. But power with discipline, that is unstoppable. So stop apologizing for wanting to be strong. Stop letting weakness be your default. Stop waiting for permission to be great. Forge yourself into something that cannot be ignored. Because in the end, only two types of people exist. Monsters who control their power and weaklings who get controlled by everything. Which one will you be? Comment below, I master myself. Because the world doesn't need more victims. It needs more people who have the strength to protect, build, and lead. If this message hit deep, support this channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Because by spreading this, you help others wake up, rise up, and take control of their own lives.